Okay, so this is part 3. For the other previous videos, you may check the links either on top or the bottom of this video or in the comments or in the descriptions. So for the questions for part 3, here they are. How do you approach analyzing and scoping an automation project? Do you provide documentation or user guides as part of your delivery? And the third, do you test the automations yourself before handover? Okay, so stay tuned again in the end of this video to know the questions for part 4.
Let's
One
go.
is number 4. How do you approach analyzing and scoping an automation project? So I start with knowing what's the specific purpose of the automation. And from there, I would ask um, the client what are the if he or she has the list of the manual steps being done and on what platform. And for each of those platforms, I check if I can automate that using the connector or the API that we have chosen to use. And if there's none, I would find a workaround, like if there's a public API endpoint for that. And then I also in the giving of the requirements, I also give out the rules, like if it concerns if there's a meeting, if there's an online meeting, I would say that you have to name the title of the meeting with this text, like probably put a one-on-one text there, so that I would I would make that as a condition, as a filter in the automation, so that not all not all meetings would be processed in the automation, and only those meetings that have a title that contain one-on-one. The effect of this is it is the automation filters those that are not needed, they filter out. So we save tasks. The automation is more efficient, and it is only running for those that are for the workflows that are intended to run. So for the scope, I clear it out with specifying the specific scenarios that are possible, the actions that are needed, and the conditions that are involved, so that the scope would be defined. And I ask questions while I am building it as well.
You can do it.
So next question, so do you provide documentation or user guides as part of your delivery? Yes, I do provide documentation, whether it's in document form, like Google Docs, or via a video walkthrough, or I can do a combination of both, whichever is which the client is comfortable in reviewing. And I use language, whether technical or in general description terms, like in layman's terms, such as so that it would be understandable for the intended reader. Next is, do you test the automations yourself before handover? Yes, I test the automations before doing a handover. I include there the possible every details and actions that should be implemented on the automation. So I ensure that they are being done accurately. And I test different scenarios, different cases whenever applicable, so that if there's a possible error issue for that scenario, that I would be able to solve that before deploying it into a live traffic or in production. In addition for that, I also do like a monitor after deploying the product or after handovering the product to a live traffic. I also do a monitored uh, a monitored run during the first several days or within a few weeks, so that I would see also if there would be issues when live traffic or live leads or live data is being fed on the automation. Because sometimes there are some things that there are some issues uh, that rise on that are being shown on live traffic as aside from testing scenarios, because there may be scenarios in live data that cannot be simulated uh, in a testing environment. So I have that monitored live run in the first several days or a first few weeks after putting it handovering it into live that for that automation.